Good evening, candidates. Welcome to the first ever edition of Simbi Socials. We are thrilled to have you and we'll be happy to spend the next hour with you. Now, before we begin, to make the things smoother and your experience better and more fun-filled, here are a few guidelines. We have multiple Q&A sessions, so be assured that your queries will be answered. In the event they are not, feel free to direct them to our Facebook group and we'll surely address them. However, utilize this opportunity to learn more about the process and ask only relevant questions. Now, there will be polls conducted throughout the course of event. All you need to do is keep an eye on the chat box. We'll be posting links. These are small links and all you need to do is click on those links and answer the question. Then you can get back to your screens. Remember, these polls will be conducted throughout the course of event, so keep an eye on them. Now, before we begin, here's a small video of our college to give you a glimpse of what our college is about and to just prep you up for what is coming. So get ready, sit back and relax. Also, if you look at the chat box, there's already a link posted. All you do is click there and answer the question. I hope that you have a good and great time. So without a further ado, let's start with the video. I hope you all are set. Welcome to Simbi Socials by SIBM Bengaluru. For all the attendees that have just joined us, please have a look at the chat box. There's a link posted. All you need to do is click on the link and answer the poll. Then you can get back to the screens. Thank you so much. Attendees, we hope that you got a glimpse of our college and are ready for what is coming up next. So before we begin the event, let's have a small countdown, shall we? Okay then. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, welcome to the first ever edition of Simbi Socials. Simbi Socials is an event organized by the Admissions and IT Committee of SIBM Bengaluru with the idea of providing the aspirants an opportunity to meet and have an interactive session with the current students of the institute as well as the snap toppers of SIBM Bengaluru. My name is Aruna Ranjan and I'll be one of the hosts today. My co-hosts are Aishwarya Swami, Ayush Jain, Kushal Pandey, Naisargi Kothari, Shikhar Maheshwari and Yash Rathod. We are the members of the Admissions and IT Committee of SIBM Bengaluru. Symbiosis Institute of Business Management Bengaluru is a constituent of Symbiosis International University Pune and was established in the year 2008 when the university spread its wings by establishing its first ever campus outside of Maharashtra. Ever since, the institute has been producing outstanding managers with its unique pedagogy and student-centric culture. SIBM Bengaluru believes in providing its students management education with a quantitative difference and has been showing consistent growth in the field. Now, let us watch the official video of SIBM Bengaluru. So we hope you guys have now gotten a better understanding of our institution. Apart from the placement statistics or the academic curriculum or even the pedagogy, an important factor that makes a B school unique is diversity. As an institute under Symbiosis International University that envisions the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam or the world is one family, we at SIBM Bengaluru embrace the same and are proud to say that our institute has a rich diversity on the basis of culture, educational qualification, and professional backgrounds. We will now watch a video on the diversity factor of SIBM Bengaluru.
Welcome to SIBM Bengaluru, a place where we celebrate diversity and inclusion. We here at SIBM Bengaluru welcome students from various cultural and educational backgrounds that gives them an opportunity to network and experience peer learning. Our curriculum is designed to be both rigorous and rewarding for students from all backgrounds. SIBM Bengaluru follows an innovative teaching pedagogy to achieve the vision of management education with a quantitative difference, which comprises of Harvard cases, simulation, and a strong emphasis on analytics. We at SIBM Bengaluru believe that diversity brings out the best in all of us.
ഞാൻ എന്നെ തന്നെ കണ്ടെത്തിയ സ്ഥലം
బన్నాలి
అన్ని పండగలు జరుపుకుంటాము.
Kajaka Kabon K Latlinti.
புதிய நட்பிற்கும் முன்னேற்றத்திற்குமான ஆரம்பம்
असाधारण
हमारी कामयाबी नो जरियो
जिथे टॉर बसती है
ಇದು ನಮ್ಮನೆ
There is unity in diversity, and we are all one. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
So we hope you guys enjoyed the video. Further in the course of the event, we will have interactive sessions where you shall take a virtual tour of our institute and also ask your queries to the current students of SIBM Bengaluru. So sit back, relax, and have a fun, interactive, and informative session ahead.
Hello everyone. Now that you've got to know about SIBM Bengaluru and its diversity, I would like to take you to a session which is called question answer section. So I would request you to start posting your queries in the chat box. In the meanwhile, we would like to give you a brief about two new courses offered by SIBM Bengaluru, which is MBA in Quantitative Finance and MBA in Business Analytics. MBA in Quantitative Finance is a specialized field in finance where the students are allowed to work on financial markets by applying mathematical models. The students are given an opportunity to work on the complex mathematical models, which is used by industry experts in the field of risk, investments, and portfolio management. About MBA in Business Analytics, Shikhar, you're a student in MBA in Business Analytics. Could you take this up, please? Shikhar,
Sure.
I believe you're on mute.
Yes. So with the advent of Industry 4.0, the industry is moving more towards data and connectivity. So they want managers who can take decisions based on data. The MBA and BA program aims to train techno managers which specialize using data to take managerial decisions. After this course, you will be working in fields of HR analytics, marketing analytics, or even financial analytics.
Thank you, Shikhar. By the time everyone starts posting their questions in the chat box, remember the registration form which we rolled out? There was a question which was commonly asked in that registration form, which was related to how is life at SIBM Bengaluru. Aishwarya and Ayush, could you take this up, please?
Yes, sure, Yash. So life at SIBMB is really amazing. Like despite the pandemic, it has been a wonderful experience altogether. The academic lectures, case presentations, managing deadlines, we're actually having a holistic learning. And the faculties are very supportive. They encourage us to bring in new ideas. Apart from this, like in the last 3 to 4 months, we got to experience the virtual events. Like I remember the first time when I stepped into the MBA world, we had our first event, the corporate induction program. Those 5 days connecting with the brand managers of top companies like Dell, OnePlus, ITC, Puma, and having a glimpse of the corporate world. It was really very insightful. Then we had Utopia, the annual International Cultural Fest. It was great to see our batch showcase their talents in different fields like poetry, art, theatre, and many more. We also had an open house event organized by the Toastmasters Club. Listening to the motivational TEDx speaker, Mr. Deepak Justin, and gaining his insights on communication and leadership was a great experience. So overall, it has been an amazing journey so far.
And what's really interesting is SIBM Bengaluru offers ample opportunities to both freshers and with people who have work experience. So this is a cohort of diverse backgrounds where we get to learn from one another, grow from it, and henceforth build strong connections too. So this is really amazing about SIBM Bengaluru.
Amazing, guys. Well, another question which we've got is about the scope and the subject of business analytics. Shikhar, could you take this up, please? Shikhar, I believe you are on mute. Could you unmute yourself, please? Okay, by the time Shikhar fixes his mic, Aishwarya, there's a question related to the placements in the chat box. Could you take this up?
Yes, I saw that. If for all the questions about placements in SIBM Bengaluru, well, SIBM Bengaluru has a consistent growth in terms of placements. And for all your questions about the statistics about the highest placement, the average stipend, all of this is available in our official website, and the link of which is posted in your chat box, guys. So we request you all to kindly look at the chat box. We have a link there which has the official placement report of SIBM Bengaluru. And furthermore, We have some of the place commerce with us in our Facebook official admissions queries and queries group. So they'll be able to help you better with any of your questions that are regarding to placements. So feel free to reach out to them in our Facebook group.
Okay, so while more questions are flooding in, there was this other topic about which we were getting a lot of queries in the registration form, and it was about the gap. You know, a lot of aspirants have been taking gap years. Some of them just taking a year off or, you know, to take a gap from academics. So some it's about volunteering at NGOs for maybe internships or maybe for preparation of exam, which is very common. To be honest, it doesn't really matter if you haven't have a gap year. It's a lot of us have, and it doesn't really, you know, tamper with your chances of converting and getting into a B school, into SIBM Bengaluru. So that doesn't really matter. All you have to do is to be honest about it during your process, and what really matters is just you know, how you perform in Snap and also in the processes that follows, like interviews and group discussions. So that is what really matters, and there is nothing to be worried about gap years per se. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so coming back to MBA in Business Analytics, we see a lot of questions in MBA in Business Analytics. Shikhar, I hope you fixed your mic. Could you please shed some light on this question, please?
$84. So we can't predict the cutoff for this year, but that's what you can use to make an estimate. Talking about the subjects of BA, we have technical subjects like mathematical modeling of data structures and data warehousing, data visualization. Other than that, even our managerial subjects are focused more towards using data to drive those decisions. We specialize in financial analytics, marketing analytics at the end of our 2-year course, or even operations analytics. So, and this talking about scope of BA, as I previously told, the industry with Industry 4.0, data is the new oil. MBA and Business Analytics, the managers created by MBA and Business Analytics will be at the center of this revolution. So that's the scope of this course.
So in the chat box, I see a question regarding humanities. What are the chances of call conversion of a student for humanity background? Honestly, it doesn't really matter because I'm a person from the same background. So it doesn't really matter what your background is. What matters again is your performance in all of the steps that builds up to the interview process and the interview process itself. So there is nothing to be worried about what your background is. So yeah.
Amazing, guys. I see a question which is related to the tips and tricks and Snap strategy. So guys, about Snap strategies and their tips and tricks, we are having a section called Toppers Talk, wherein the students of SIBM Bengaluru who topped Snap in 2019 would be letting you know about their Snap strategy, exactly what they were doing a year back when they were preparing for Snap. Also, we have questions related to the change in the Snap pattern. So about change in the Snap pattern, it's a big change in Snap pattern in 2020. So for that, we would request you to go to the SnapTest website, which is snaptest.org, the link of which we'll be sending in the chat box shortly. I hope all your queries have been answered. For more when you get more queries and to get them answered, we request you to join our Facebook group. We would send you the chat. We would send you the link of the Facebook group in the chat shortly.
So next up, we have Project Explore. This is the part of the event where we put you in the driving seat and you get to control which parts of our institute you want to explore. So let's start. You're standing at the gates. Where do you want to go next? You can choose from the academic block or the hostel and the mess. There's a link in the chat box. Please go and vote there.
So Shikhar, while our aspirants are making their decision, I really, you know, looking at this image right now, I'd really like to say something that I felt when I was there for the first time, which is the GE Pivot process day. So I remember there was a small cabin right next to the gate, the securities room basically, and standing there in this long queue waiting for the verification process to happen. And I was really intimidated. I was really had a lot of apprehensions about a lot of things, but I was super excited as well, because these could be your potential batchmates in the future if you ever convert. So there was so much things going on in that day, and right now sitting on this side of the table, being a student here, and finally looking at this picture again, it just feels amazing. It feels surreal to actually have gone through all of those processes, stressful yet super exciting process, and finally be here. So I really hope most of our candidates who are here also get to experience the same. So yeah, are the votes in yet?
Yes, the votes are in, and it looks like the aspirants want to visit our hostel and mess. So let's go there. Well, hostel is something that completes our campus life here at SIBM Bengaluru. And on that note, Apurva, how has hostel life been for you so far? Could you talk about that for us?
Sure, Aishwarya. I love to talk about it. So I'm sure for a lot of you, MBA will be the first time you guys might be leaving your homes or your cities. So I feel you guys. I also had the same experience. So I was very apprehensive when I first moved into the hostel, but once I got into the SIBM Bengaluru hostel, I met my roommate, I saw my room, I had a small little corner to myself, and all the late night pizza parties, doing assignments till 6 a.m., having movie nights, getting dressed up together. I think those are memories that I'll cherish forever. And other than that, I think being alone on campus and having the whole MBA experience in the hostel is something you cannot get from outside. So it's, it makes you more independent and stronger. Other than that, I think the mess is a place. I mean, I love food, so 4 times a day we get meals in the mess, and evening chai with a little bit of samosas or pakoras, and we used to discuss outside on how the day has been. So I think, yeah, I'm reminiscing all of those days right now, and I think this is what sums up the experience of an MBA in hostel life. So yeah, that's about it.
Thank you so much, Apurva. Aspirants, you have 3 options with you now: the academic block, the auditorium, and the amphitheater. There's a link at the chat box. We request you all to please go there and vote. And yes, talking about these places, the amphitheater or the auditorium. Well, students of SIBM Bengaluru end up conducting so many events here. And since our institute believes in a student-centric culture, all of us not only get to participate in all these events, we also plan it from scratch. All our managerial skills literally come to life here. And it's also really important for us because this is where we get to develop professional skills and have great networking. Aruna here is a part of certain clubs. And apart from clubs, yes, we do have many committees in our institute. And these committees, they really run the whole college. This is how SIBM Bengaluru functions. And yes, we were talking about the clubs as well, right? So Aruna here is a part of several clubs. Aruna, could you tell us how these clubs have made a difference to you as an MBA student?
Yeah, absolutely, Aishwarya. So first of all, we have 12 clubs in our campus. We have international clubs like Rotaract and Toastmasters, which really put you on an international pedestal because of the exposure these clubs have. We have entrepreneurship clubs, which really, kind of gives wings to your imagination, to your ideas. We have specialization-based clubs like operations, markets, marketing clubs, all these where we have topical discussions, matters, we discuss topical matters. So other than that, we also have cultural clubs, which are very important for me as a person. So we have these dance clubs, music clubs, and all these clubs where we conduct a lot of fun events, and we, come together, we network, and we also get to follow your passion even amidst doing our MBA. So, even during lockdown and everything going online, we've been conducting events, we've been making dance videos and music videos, everything together. So it's really a much needed stress buster that these clubs, all of these clubs, in fact, have been giving us. And it is amazing. It is a great experience. So yeah, it's really needed.
Shikhar,
so next up we have the academic block. So let's go there. So the academic block at SIBM Bengaluru is the place where you'll be spending a lot of time in your day, studying, researching, working on projects. And So basically, you have three options in the academic block which you can explore: the Bloomberg Lab, the classroom, or the library. There's a link in the chat box. Please go and vote there. Giving a brief about all these three places so you can vote better. The Bloomberg Lab is your place for all kinds of financial data. The classroom is the place where you'll be spending a lot of time in your day studying and interacting with your peers and getting their perspectives. So, and the library is a place of calm where you can read and read about academics or even relax with a book of fiction or non-fiction. So the results are in. Bloomberg Lab is the first. So Yash, you love finance, right? So would you talk more about it?
Yes, Shikhar, absolutely. For a finance aspirant like me, Bloomberg Lab is like a temple because you get the live market data in the Bloomberg Lab, which is the best thing for anyone. But there's a myth around Bloomberg Lab. Did you know that Bloomberg Lab is not only useful for the finance aspirants, but it could be used by people from any domain, be it marketing, HR, operations, or even business analytics. The aspirants and students could take the data from the Bloomberg Lab and they could actually use that for their projects. They could use that for their research papers and whatnot. Bloomberg Lab is definitely one of my favorite places in the academic block.
So next up, we have the classroom. So talking about the classroom experience at SIBM Bengaluru is amazing. You get to, it's not just about learning from what's in the textbooks or calculating sums. We spend a lot of time using the information that we have learned to understand case studies from the real world or even take live decisions in Harvard case study simulations. The classroom is an intersection of diverse minds where you get to expand your horizons of understanding. Next up, we have the library. So Naisargi, you love books, right? Would you like to talk more about the library?
Yes, sure. So finally, we come to my favorite place of the college. When I was considering SIBM Bengaluru for my MBA, the first thing that I found about its infrastructure was its library. And after my GE Pivot process, when we were given the college tour, and when I saw the library, I was just in awe of the library. The library is our knowledge house at Symbiosis Bengaluru. We can pick up daily. All the leading newspaper titles are available and any student can pick up at them for their reading. We can sit and read books here in peace, and here we will find books for our academics as well as books to simply read and relax. From fact to fiction, all the major book titles are available here. And plus, if you are a book lover like me, issuing 5 additional books over your textbooks is just an added bonus. So it's a wonderful place to be.
So next up, you have an option to vote between the amphitheater and the auditorium. There's a link in the chat box. Please go and vote there. So giving you a brief about these two places so you can vote better. The amphitheater is a place where all kinds of formal events take place. Informal events take place, like music events or events organized by students. And the auditorium is a place for formal events, corporate events, like TEDx or Samagam, our alumni meet. So the results are in. Amphitheater wins.
Well, as Shikhar already told you guys, the amphitheater is a place where all the students of SIBM Bengaluru just gather to, unwind themselves from a really stressful and rigorous day that they've had from the academics. And hey, Dinesh, you've had several performances here at the Amphi. So this must be a very special place for you, right? So what are your thoughts on this?
Sure, Aishwarya. So yeah, Amphi is a kind of a happy place for me, which rejuvenates a lot of memories. And after a challenging day, this is the place where we unwind and relax ourselves. And we all broke the ice for the first time here. And for those who love music, we have an in-house music band here. And I performed with our band a lot of times, sometimes even with the faculties. To be honest, they are amazing musicians too. So every single time we perform here, it will be houseful. I mean, because there can't be a better place than this to sit back with a chai and enjoy a live performance. Our Christmas carols happened here. Our New Year after party happened here, which is really special. And we had our movie nights, karaoke nights, which is amazing, especially because of the Bangalore weather, the open air theater setup. And apart from this, we work hard, movie enjoy, right? So this is where we sit at 2 a.m. sometimes to discuss our case studies with a hot bowl of Maggie in our hand. So, and apart from the quantitative difference that I got in this MBA from this college, one thing I really benefited is from networking. I met most of my friends here who are going to be, the decision makers for various market leaders in few more months. And this is the place where I got to network a lot of alums who are managers and vice presidents in different companies. So I feel these 2 years are really important, and the environment that you are in really plays a major role in shaping you.
Yes, some really wonderful memories there. Thank you, Dinesh. So we're now heading towards the auditorium. Let's go there. Well, as you can see, this is our auditorium, and there's a separate block in SIBM Bengaluru for the auditorium, where all our major corporate events, cultural events, and even the farewell events take place. Well, speaking about the corporate events here, some of the major corporate events would be our corporate induction, where all the first years get to all of us get to listen to some of the industry stalwarts here, and this is a really insightful session for all of us because this could be a stepping stone to our learnings from then. And apart from this, we also have Alchemy, which is a management conclave, and this is a flagship event of SIBM Bengaluru, guys, wherein we have CXO level members as panelists, and their discussions are really helpful for us. They're such learning lessons for all of us. And we do have TEDx SIBM Bengaluru as well. This is a separate entity altogether. We have Kushal and Naisargi here. They're both part of TEDx. So Kushal, would you want to talk about how this has impacted you as an MBA student in SIBM Bengaluru?
Yes, Ashwar, I'll be glad to share that. Well, TEDx SIBM Bengaluru is something which is very close to my heart. And it was one of the deciding factors in choosing the institute, to be honest. Well, those who do not know, TEDx is an independent event which is organized under the aegis of TED. Now, there are motivational speakers from throughout the country, right? They can be film stars, they are sport persons, they are journalists, they are lawyers, defense officers, and whatnot. So what makes this event really exciting is that we use our managerial skills. The marketing guys, the operation guys, the finance guys, they all come together to organize this event. And it's one of the most awaited events at our institute. So yeah, this is pretty close to my heart. And to give you a fact, we are one of the only institutes in our country to host this consecutively since 2011. And we'll be entering our 10th season next year. So yeah, I'm really happy.
Definitely. SIBM Bengaluru is home away from home, wherein we get to learn from one another and grow along with it. So yes, having said that, we're now moving to the next segment of Symbi Socials, guys, where Naisargi would be briefing about that to you all.
So hey guys, I hope you have had a glimpse of the amazing campus life that waits you here at Symbiosis Bengaluru. I'm sure your snap preparations must be in full swing and you must be having some strategies planned as to how to attend snap. So we are here with the segment Toppers Talk, where we have the top 3 snap percentilers of 2019 from the batch of 2022, who will be sharing their journey stories, some tips and some last minute strategies, and we hope that it will prove to be helpful to you. We'll also be opening the floor to your questions and we hope that all your snap prep related queries can be solved. So I request you all to post in your questions in the chat box. So let me introduce the top 3 snap percentilers from our batch. First up, we have Kajal Matta with a snap percentile of 99.13. We have Priyanshu Gogoi with a snap percentile of 98.44. And we have Kalin Dakshi with a snap percentile of 98.24. So first up, I would like to call upon Kajal and let's see what she has to say.
Hello everyone, I am Kajal Matta. I am from Rajkot, Gujarat. I have done my bachelor's in business administration with marketing as my specialization. Just like Naisargi mentioned, I scored 99.13 percentile and I'm really excited to share my experience and learning with you all. So while I was preparing for SNAP, I tried to cover the basics of all the topics because in exam there will be all types of questions. So if you know the basics, you will be able to attempt maximum number of questions. And for quant and DILR especially, you guys can remember multiplication tables, cubes, squares of numbers up till 25. So this way you can do half of the calculations in your mind itself, and it will save you a lot of time. Additionally, you could learn a little Vedic math. There are various methods, like you can search online, which would make long mathematical operations like multiplication and division much faster. Sometimes it happens that the question in front of you is very simple, but the calculations behind it is quite tedious. So these techniques might help you out there. Since we almost have a week in hand, I would suggest that you give as many mocks as possible. Now that you guys are done with CAD, you can completely focus on SNAP. A few things that helped me a lot was analyzing all my mocks. I used to do that by making an Excel sheet. So you can maybe record the total number of questions that you attempted, what were the types of those questions, whether they were correct or not, how much time did you take to solve it. The reason I used to write it down is because I wanted to see that if the questions are correct, what was my thinking process back then. So as to give myself a mental affirmation, okay, whatever I thought was correct, and whenever I see a similar question ahead, I know my way forward. And if it was the wrong question, so I used to find out what was the reason behind it. Maybe lack of time, lack of understanding, maybe I forgot the formula. So you can identify the problem and then think, oh, how can you solve it. Lastly, on the day of exam, don't be nervous at all. Have a good sleep the previous night. Go some food and then go to the center. Have some food and then go to the center. Be confident and believe in yourself. With everything going on, we understand it can be a bit overwhelming for all of you, but we have seen that the difficulty level of SNAP has remained the same over the years. So even though the pattern has changed, we are most assured that you guys are going to perform amazingly well. Having said that, all the very best to you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kajal. Now, next up, we have Priyanshu.
Yeah, thank you, Nasrigi. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Priyanshu Gogoi, and I'm a first year student at SIBM Bengaluru. I am from Guwahati, Assam. And before I begin, I would just like to give a brief introduction about my background. I am a BTech in Civil Engineering from NIT Silchar. I passed out my BTech in 2018, and post that I took a year off while I was preparing for my exams. Since I gathered that there are only 7 days left for SNAP, I would just like to give a brief run through about what I did on those last 7 days, which really helped me a lot. First and foremost, I used to give a lot of mocks, as in I used to give at least 2 mocks per day, which really helped me a lot. One thing that is very important to note is that CAT and SNAP are 2 different exams with different formats and different challenges. So even if you've done CAT already, please make sure that you attempt SNAP-centric exams. This is something which I did, and it helped me a lot. Also, one very specific thing that I did was that I used to give the exam at the exact time of the main exam. For example, if the exam was on Sunday at 11:30 a.m., I used to wake up in the last 7 days at 11:30 a.m. give the exam. This really helped me acclimatize my body clock, and in the long run, it helped me a lot. Secondly, just like Kajal mentioned, I also used to do a lot of Vedic maths. This not only increased my speed, but it also made me very accurate in my calculations. Thirdly, one more specific thing that I did was that when I used to study the RCs, I used to make a mental map of the RC in my mind. As in, I used to create a summary of the RC in my mind. Suppose there are 3 paragraphs in the RC, I used to read the first paragraph and then make a story in my mind, then link it with the second paragraph and everything. It really helped me a lot because when I was answering the questions, I didn't have to go back to the RC again and again to read it. It saved me a lot of time and really helped me a lot to answer the questions. Thirdly, I'd like to say is that stick to your strengths. Personally, my strength was verbal and LRDI, and I stuck to those. Of course, I studied well for quant as well, but I didn't overburden myself with quant. I stuck to my strengths, and it really helped me increase my percentile like that. All in all, I would just like to say that I understand there are only 7 days left for SNAP, and it must be a very stressful time for you. But make sure that you're happy right now, and make sure that you're very relaxed because it really helps in the long run. Personally, in the last 7 days, I used to visit my family and friends daily. Keep a positive frame of mind, and when I went to the exam on the D-Day, it really helped me a lot because it made sure that my frame of mind was very positive, and the effect showed in my results. So having said that, I would just like to wish you all the best for the exam. May your exams go well, and I hope to see a lot of you in our colleges as juniors in the future. And all the best. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Priyanshu, for sharing that. And before I call upon Thalin, I request all the aspirants, please start posting in your questions. So after we hear what Thalin has to say, we'll be more than happy to take up your queries. So that being said, now I would like to call Thalin and take over the stage.
Thank you, Naisagi. I'm Thalin Dakshi. I'm from Chennai. I did my undergraduation in mechanical engineering and I scored 98.24 percentile in SNAP. And I would like to share my experience on what I went through and what was my approach before and during the exam. First, SNAP is a different ball game compared to CAT, and a bit of customized preparation for this exam can bring about a considerable difference in your overall score, and it can definitely be achieved in the time you have left. With SNAP, speed is the name of the game. It's important to get out of the mindset of CAT while approaching the questions here. Usually the questions are not easier compared to CAT, and it's important to get accustomed to the type of questions that appear in SNAP. So right after CAT, I started giving a lot of mocks, solving sample papers and previous year question papers, basically anything related to SNAP that I could get my hands on. I can just find them on Google. These materials are freely available. Also, you would be well versed with squares, cubes, percentage conversions, fraction conversions by this time. If not, this is the right time to start because they'd be really helpful during the exam because you'd be getting questions which you could just mentally solve or with just a few strokes of your pencil if you knew the shortcuts. Coming to the D-Day strategy, my strong sections were verbal and DILR. So I started with the verbal section because I wanted to quickly ace this section at the quickest time possible. And then I moved on to the quant section and not DILR because in quant, you have quite a few low hanging fruits. Those are questions which are pretty easy and anyone can solve them with a bit of effort. So at the end of the exam, I didn't want to miss out on these questions under time pressure. So I took this section a second and then I moved on to the DILR section where I spent a bit of time and used this section as the score maximizing section. So this strategy worked for me and this may not work for everyone. That is why it's important to take mocks and try out to do the strategies which works for you in the coming days and fix on one strategy, identify the strategy that works for you and go ahead with that. So you'd be in a good position to tackle the exam. Don't stress about it and overthink it. Go with the mindset that this is my exam and I'm going to crack it and you surely will. So all the best and hope to see a lot of you in college next year.
Yeah, thank you so much, Thalin, for sharing such insightful details. Now we have a lot of questions pouring in the chat box. So now the first question we have is how does one go about preparing for vocab for SNAP? So Priyanshu, will you answer this question?
Yeah, sure, Naisargi. Verbal is something which is like, as I said, it was my strength. Since I already talked about the RCs and how to go about RCs, I'll just say it once again. Well, preparing for RCs, just make sure that when you read the RC, make a summary of the RC in your own head. And it can be in your mother tongue as well. If you're comfortable with the mother tongue, make a story of the RC in your own head, and that will help you answer the questions, right? Because you don't have to go back to the RC again and again to just read the RC. It takes a lot of time. And like that, you can save a lot of time. Secondly, one thing I did was like I read a lot of articles in my phone before I used to go to sleep. I used to read many articles, and I used to read articles which interest me. Like if I like sports, I used to read sports articles. If I like movies, I used to read movies articles. Do that as well because it increases the vocabulary a lot. In the last 7 days, probably install an app where you get updates about a new word every day. That increases the vocabulary a lot. I did that; it helped me a lot. There are many apps we can install. Read articles when you are suppose eating or something. You can read it as well. You can read articles like that. All in all, verbal is something which is very easy, to be honest, and you can crack it very well if you follow some particular steps. And if you follow my techniques that I've used, I think you should do well in verbal and all. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so I hope this question helped. And I would like to just reiterate one more thing. Please don't address us by ma'am or sir. We are also in the same place a year ago. So we are here just to help you out. So please address us by your names. Okay, so the next question I see is that how can we manage both the speed and accuracy? and what can be the best strategy to crack Snap? Thalin, will you take up this question, please?
Sure. First, it's important to identify the right questions and not fixate on one question. If you spend some time on a question and you're not able to solve, move on. Don't fixate on that and waste more time on that. Coming to accuracy, get accustomed to the questions that have been asked in the previous year papers, and have a calm mind and don't get tensed. So when you get tensed, you get confused, and that might lead to you marking the wrong answers, even the answers which you know. And speed, as I said earlier, don't get fixated on one thing. There'll be a lot of questions at the fag end of the exam, and you should not miss out on that. So if you have are doubtful about a question, have it at the back of your mind and move on to the next question. So yeah, that's it from my side.
All right. Next up, we have a question as to now the duration of Snap has been reduced. So how can one manage time and attempt more questions, and how can one find that balance between accuracy and speed, especially while solving quant? So Kajal, will you answer this question?
Yeah, sure. Like quant was one of my strengths. So like now that you mentioned that the time has been reduced, but the number of questions are also reduced proportionately. So what you can do is, like, you have like 7 days left. By giving mocks, you can decide how much time do you want to allocate for one particular section. And try different combination and see what works best for you, and obviously play on your strengths. For cons, what I tried is, if you're solving a particular question and there is one approach or one method to it, don't just stick to it. Now that you're practicing it, try 3 or 4 other approaches and see which one takes less time. And once you identify that, go implement that in your exam. You can do the same with other, for all sorts of questions in quant. Generally, for speed and accuracy, you can start by working individually on both of them. Try identify for which topics your speed is higher, and for that your accuracy would also be higher. So when you're giving the exam, first go and identify those questions and attempt them. If you're dicey about some question, do that later on. You'll always have the time to come back later on, but at least by recognizing the correct questions, you will be able to increase your marks. So that was my take when I attempted. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, definitely. So next question which the next is a question which we are having repeatedly as to what to do in the last 7 days before Snap. So Priyanshu, will you answer this?
Yeah, sure. Okay, last 7 days before Snap, right? As all of us already mentioned, in the last 7 days, since you have already prepared for a majority of your 1 year, so last 7 days, the only thing you should do is give as many mocks as possible. I also mentioned about taking mocks at the exact time of the exam. Like on Sunday, if the exam is on 10:30 or 11:30, give the mocks at the same time in the last 7 days. It will help you, acclimatize your body clock accordingly, and it will help you have a good mindset. Secondly, analyze your mocks. Very importantly, analyze your mocks. Even if you get undesirable marks in mocks, don't feel so bad. Take it as an opportunity to learn more and more. Take it as an opportunity to improve yourself. Secondly, I would say that refresh your formulas. Probably make a short in a book, make a short note of all the formulas in quant. Like refresh them before you sleep. That really helps you a lot, because there are some questions in Snap which are very low-hanging fruits, as Thalin mentioned, in quant, which you should be able to score. You just have to know the formula. So for that, you have to remember the formulas really well. So try to refresh all the formulas in the last 7 days. That helps you a lot. And most importantly, try to be very happy and positive in the last 7 days. Try to have a good frame of mind. In the long run, it really helps you a lot. And when you go to the exam, you feel very elated and everything. And eventually your percentile works really well. And this is all from me. Yeah.
Yeah. And on the same lines, what are your views, Kajal?
I think for last, just like Priyanshu said, I was just giving as many mocks so as to get I was trying to get used to the environment, because it's important that you don't feel pressurized. Like the timer is always going to be ticking, so you need to be comfortable in that zone. So, and just be relaxed. Like you can before going into the exam hall, you can do something that makes you happy and relaxed, so that with a fresh mind you can see. And you have 7 days, so don't tire while practicing. Don't make yourself tired enough. Sometimes we are so mentally tired that on the exam day you are just I want to be done with it. So, just keep up your enthusiasm. Only few days left. I am like you have already given CAT, so you are prepared for Snap. Just go in there with confidence and a calm mind, and you'll do the best.
Yeah, sure. And Thalin, what would you like to say about the your state of mind, and what did you do in a week before Snap?
So Kajal and Priyanshu have covered most of it, but one thing I'd like to add is that don't go for new concepts or new types of questions that you want to solve, because you don't have to stress about these things that you don't know and have to solve these things and get anxious about it, but strengthen the areas that you're already strong in and work on those. So, and you'd be pretty good to go.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so now one question we have here is like, how does one overcome the demerits of 1 weak section? Like, for example, if my quant is my weak section or LRDI is my weak section, so how can one balance that during the exam? So Thalin, what do you have to say about this?
Sure. As I mentioned, in each of the sections, there would be a few low-hanging fruits which anyone can solve with just minimal effort, and you have to just identify these questions. So you go through the paper and look at all the questions and not skip a few questions or get fixated on one question and think that I have to solve this. Also, if you're strong in a section, say I was strong in verbal, I find a hard question in verbal. I know it's hard. I don't fixate on it. I don't have a stigma that I should solve this. If that's hard, I know it's hard, and I move on to the next question. And spend a bit of time on the weaker section, but spend more time on the sections that you are strong in to maximize the score.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so next question we have here is that does the college give any preference to graduate from tier 1 engineering college? Like, do they have an added advantage over it? So luckily we have here Priyanshu, who is an engineering graduate from NIT Silchar. So Priyanshu, what do you have to say about this?
Interesting question, actually. I mean, it's a good question. So, see, as far as I've surveyed my batchmates and friends, everything, and there are people from many diverse backgrounds, as already Nesragi and everybody in the AdCom committee already told you about the diversity of our college. And I don't think there's a preference for any specific college as such. As we all know, Symbiosis Bangalore stands for Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and we all look forward to having people from different colleges, right, and different backgrounds. So in my class, there is a friend of mine who is a graduate who's a dentist, and there are humanities students as well. So there are many people from different colleges, and I don't think there's a specific preference for any college. All you have to do is concentrate on your snap. It doesn't matter from where you're from. The journey starts now. Do your snap well, and other subsequent processes do that well, and eventually you'll get a seat in our college. Don't have to worry about which background you're from and everything. Just be confident, and that will work for you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, very rightly said. Like it all comes down to your snap performance and your performances in the later rounds, and then you're good to go. Okay, so next question we have here is like, what about the navigation? Can we navigate during the sections? So yes, we can. You can navigate in different section from VA to DI to quants. And if you want to find out more information, you can refer to snaptest.org and get a more detailed view on that. So I think that's it. Thank you so much, Priyanshu, Kajal, and Thalin for addressing all the queries of the aspirants. And to the aspirants, if you have any more queries related to anything, you can reach out to us anytime in the official Facebook group of Symbiosis Bengaluru, and we'll be more than happy to answer.
So I actually see a few more questions from the previous Q&A about the gap years. So there is an aspirant who has a gap of 2 years, and another person who was a little concerned about it interfering in the process. So just reiterating the part, I mean, I've been there. I used to be a little worried about the same thing. It is not really a problem. All you have to do is to be honest about it. We all have a reason for why we did it. So that's all right. So there is nothing to worry about it. Just wanted to reassure everybody that there is nothing to worry about. So yeah, all the best. And so yeah, I think with that we come to the end of this talk session. So over to you, Ayush.
So guys, just a week left for snap test. Ready for the D-Day? Don't worry, give your best shot and we are sure every one of you will ace it. And I hope you remember that the last day to register for SIBM Bengaluru is December 18th. Don't forget to register. Also, stay tuned, keep checking our Facebook page and be in touch by the official group. I hope you are going through the content we posted recently, the What's in It for You and Internship Diaries. Do check that on our page. We are really excited to have you all at the campus next year. And if you have any doubts, feel free to reach out to us on our official Facebook group. With this, we finally come to the end of Symbi Socials. I hope you all had a great time. We loved interacting with you all. So the Admissions and IT Committee of SIBM Bengaluru wishes you all the very best for your SNAP journey. Bye guys, stay safe and have a great week ahead.